Hello, everyone. It's another episode of Tailgate Talk. Today, it's just me and Nicky Two-Step. Nick, side of the people.
Howdy.
Joe's away doing something else. Couldn't make it today, so we got his picks. They're gonna be garbage. We know that.
Isn't he still in the lead?
Yeah,
Oh my
but
God.
not by much.
Oh, did I get up? Did I get up there?
You did. You made some comeback.
There we go.
But before we get into that, let's get into it. A lot of news this week. We've got some coaching updates. We've got Coach Signetti getting an extension, and Coach Franklin shown the door.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in our little chat here. It felt Joe was saying it felt quick during like regards to this season, like the fact that they were they had the lead on Oregon in overtime 3 weeks ago, and now Franklin's gone. To me, honestly, I think it's the right move. He's proven what he can and can't do. And if you seriously consider yourself a national title team, sure you can win a bunch in the regular season, but if you can't win the big ones, it's not like you're basically just residing to being a good regular season team. And there are plenty of cautionary tales, like Wisconsin is one of them, where they had a great coach or they had a good coach, constantly won 10 games, constantly in the Big Ten title game, never winning the big one. Now they've fired him and went to Luke Fickle. And I mean, look at now, Luke Fickle's probably going to get fired. Um, Plenty of other teams that think that they can be in that upper echelon, but then are kind of getting that realization like, oh, maybe not. So I think that's the move of Penn State or that's like the fear of it. But I do think that with the amount of money they're probably willing to spend on football, I think they'll be fine, and they just got to find a coach that can win big games.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Franklin, he had the reputation of not being able to win the big games, and when you Penn State, you expect more. So
Yeah,
it felt like this was time, um, especially after losing to Northwestern.
you can't. And not only that, but they lost to UCLA, who had a interim offensive coordinator. Um, and you give up 40 points to UCLA. Like that's a team that hadn't had a lead all year. Like enough's enough. And it's one thing to not win the big games, but to not win the little games either, or the quote unquote little games. It's
To win the games you're supposed to win.
exactly like that's when you have a problem, and I'm worried because I'm hearing myself say this, and it's like kind of what we're going through this year personally. But difference in our case is that
So
our
here's the
coach has won
difference.
in the past.
Yeah, that's the difference. Dabo has won national championships in the past. Franklin was brought in and hasn't really done anything with it. I think, do they have one Big Ten title?
It's the Big Ten title they had was Trace McSorley and Saquon, I believe.
Yeah.
That I
So
can't
it's
think of another Big Ten title game, and they missed the playoffs that year because they lost to Pitt.
mhm. So
um,
yeah. Meanwhile, opposite trajectory, Coach Signetti is got had himself a week.
yes, big win against Oregon. Now he gets a big contract extension. Indiana might be for real this year too, because the knock on them last year, they didn't play anybody. They went into Autzen and beat them. That's huge. That is huge. That game, I think they play Ohio State this year. That game's going to be massive.
I cannot wait. This is Big Ten football is becoming more and more interesting as the season goes on. So we just got to keep a hold on to it and see what happens.
hmm And before we get into the picks, one more thing I just remembered. I saw a report about Billy Napier that he could be out by this weekend. If they lose to Mississippi State, they might be done in Gainesville. So another.
Their season's been up and down the whole time.
hmm So it'll be interesting to see what happens there because Mississippi State's not bad. They are not a bad football team this year.
No, they are not. Well, with that, we'll get right into their picks. We'll give you a bit of an update. Nick
Ooh,
with a comeback, he is pulled to within one of
there
Joe.
we
Joe with
go.
an uncharacteristic week. His picks last week did not get him anywhere. And me, I'm starting to come back a little bit. I'm within 8 now. A couple more weeks of you guys being a little subpar gives me a chance. But it's getting down to the wire. It's getting interesting.
I'll take that.
With that, Nick, why don't you give me your first pick?
Yeah, speaking of Oregon, I believe this game is also out west. It's always tough for an East Coast team to go out there, unless you're Indiana, of course. But Rutgers is not Indiana. I think Oregon under Dan Lanning. I don't think he's the type of coach to let him have an off game after a loss. He's the type of guy to make him respond. So give me Oregon. I think they blow the brakes off of Rutgers this weekend.
Joe picked Texas Tech over, say,
Arizona State.
Arizona State. He gave me no context on why. So
Well, that's
we
my
just
team this year. So clearly he thinks I know ball.
me. UNC is a bad football team. They're going to Cal. I think they're going to Cal. Am I right on that?
I feel like if it was Cal minus 10.5 in Chapel Hill, that'd be really, really bad for UNC.
Yeah, but that's also potentially what's going on this year. Yeah,
I'm
no, it's
double
in
checking.
Cal. It's in Cal. Give me the Golden Bears all day long. I think Bill Belichick is about to leave that program pretty soon.
Did you see the report that the general manager might have been in Saudi Arabia fundraising for the team? What is
Is he
happening?
not? Is he not the general manager too?
No, Lombardi is. He brought in a guy that was with him on the Patriots. But I mean, either way, what the heck is happening in Chapel Hill? Crazy. Um. Anyway, going into my next pick, I got BYU over my former Utah Utes. I think BYU is very, very good, and the fact that it's in Provo, um, to me, gives them the edge here. And also, I just can't get the vision of Utah laying an egg against Texas Tech out of my mind. So give me the Cougars here.
Joe's picking the Tigers over the Tigers.
One thing
It's
I'll
not
say
Missouri
one thing
over.
I'll say about this game, Auburn is getting screwed by the officiating. That's 2 weeks now, or two games that they've been apologized to from the SEC officiating. Once was against Oklahoma, and now again against Georgia. Uh, poor Auburn. That's all. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, poor Auburn. I'll tell you a team that has been getting screwed all season. It's been A&M. They've been looking pretty good. Going playing Arkansas this week. I don't think the Razorbacks have the firepower to keep up with it with A&M this week. So give me the Aggies.
Another team that does not have the firepower. I said it earlier. Fickle might be. This might be the game that gets him gone. I think Ohio State embarrasses Wisconsin. Um, I'm calling my shot. This is the last game of the Luke Fickle era in Wisconsin. Give me the Buckeyes. They're gonna roll.
And Joe picking Signetti over Michigan State. I love this pick for him. This is Indiana's for real this year. I think we both agree with that. They deserve a playoff spot. They keep playing this way. They are going to be earning themselves a chance to get a bye week. I think that at the very least to host. Like they are playing so well right now. The game of the century is going to be them versus Ohio State, and can't wait.
Yeah.
Me, uh, I think Brent Venables and the Sooners they got to get a get right game here. South Carolina is a tough team. I like the Sooners here though. I think that South Carolina is searching more about what they started off hot, then they've cooled off. Oklahoma, I feel like that was an uncharacteristic game. Their quarterback was coming off an injury, right off of surgery. Like he was what 14 days out of surgery.
So think so. Yeah. Mateer.
Ridiculous that he was playing, but what heart of a line from that kid. I think now he's got another week, get a little bit healthier. I like the Sooners here.
Yeah, and I like the retro logos here. I brought it up earlier. I think this could also be the last. the theme in my picks is that I'm picking coaches that are not going to be there after this weekend.
That-
Florida's not good, and Mississippi State is like they were in that Tennessee game and went to overtime. Obviously, they fell a little short, but if they win that game, they're 5-1 going into this game. Both teams are coming off of getting beaten by A&M in at Texas A&M. Mississippi State's had a week to kind of readjust. I think that they're going to do it here. I think they're going to go in as 9.5 point dogs and win this one. Um, it again, it'd be this would be the final nail in the Billy Napier coffin. He's managed to avoid it for a few years now. I think this is the weekend where, again, not rooting for anyone to lose their job, but I think this is when he gets got. So give me Mississippi State here.
Mhm. Joe going with Georgia Tech remaining hot, remaining an excellent team. I think they're still undefeated, right, Nick?
Georgia Tech, yeah.
I love Georgia Tech in the ACC this year. Nerds all the way. Um, so I'm loving this pick as well. Tight game. I'm surprised that it's that close of a line. I haven't really been following Duke too close. I feel like they've been also up and down. But Georgia Tech has been so hot that I'm a bit shocked that it's only 1.5 points.
I think actually I'm looking at it right now. Duke is now the favorite. Duke's a 1.5 point favorite.
Vegas
Um,
must have an idea on something going on then.
I think it's because of their Duke's quarterback Darian Mensah, 15 touchdowns, 2 picks, 1,800 yards. Um, Duke obviously they lost to Illinois and Tulane back-to-back weeks. Since then, they beat NC State, they killed Syracuse, and they went on the road and beat Cal by 24. Duke is a sleeper team in the ACC here, so I'm shocked that they're the favorite, but I'm not shocked that it's close.
Yeah. For me, so Washington State, Virginia, this also I think could be a good game. I think it's closer than 17.5 points. I love what Tony Elliott's doing down there at Virginia. Wazoo's a good team. I don't think we should get that twisted. They got blown out by Washington. But they were right in it with Ole Miss this whole time. Lost by three. I was rooting for them to win that. I thought they were gonna be able to pull it out, but I do think that Virginia's the better team here. It's at Virginia, on the CW network, so weird, weird program, weird time on Saturday. I think Virginia's got too much in the tank to pick against them this time. But I
And
think
I
that's gonna
like
be a
your.
great game.
See, I don't know if it's going to be a great game. I agree with your pick. I don't because think about this: Washington State, obviously Pacific Standard Time. They just played in Ole Miss, which is Central. Go back to Pacific, and now they have to fly all the way out to the East Coast. That's a lot of traveling. A lot of time zones. I'd be shocked if, or I wouldn't be shocked if they're not impacted at least a little bit by the jet lag.
I'll take it.
So
If that means
it
I
bodes
get
well for
points, then
you.
I get points.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, for us, we're watching. Clemson's got SMU this week. Nick and I were just talking about it before the show. Concerns about Cade's health. Sounds like Vizina's taking a lot of the first team snaps. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it's a little, you know, showmanship to make SMU think one thing and then we throw another. I'll tell you this: Cade's a gamer. If there's any chance he can play, he's gonna play. If he's limited in the run game, then I think that definitely hurts Clemson's offense. They work best when he's able to run with and create plays, and if he's stuck in the pocket, then that means that there's even more onus on the offensive line having to hold up.
I think regardless, you're going to see a big game out of Adam Randall because if Cade is limited, you're going to want to pound the rock. And a sleeper pick, look out for Gideon Davidson. I think that he's been scratching the surface a little bit. He's been showing flashes. This could be the game where, if we're running the ball a lot and we don't want to tire Adam Randall out, look for Gideon Davidson to get some carries.
Yep. I mean, I know I'll be watching it. I'm sure you will too, Nick. It's
Yes, sir.
another great week of college football. As always, go Tigers
Go Tigers.
and go Irish for Joe.